So good morning. Well. It's off to the races. I'm walking on flat pavement today. You can see that. So that means I can get up to like 1.9 miles an hour. Woohoo! Hey, I'm Dave. And I like taking you guys on these walks with me. It helps motivate me, keep me out of my pity party that I was in for 5 years after my accident. For those who are new to the channel, I fell off a roof. I used to be a roof inspector. Shattered my calcaneus. I didn't know what that was before the accident. My heel bone. So shattered it. Broke some metatarsals, other bones in the foot and by the toes. 3 of them, I think. Yeah. And let's see. Fractured broke my tailbone. Compressed some discs, messed up my back, my neck, and I tore my abdominal muscle. So I got a nice little, when I try to do leg lifts or butterfly kicks or something, I get this like little mountain ridge in my belly of it's basically my body trying to push out my intestines. So I get that little bump. I like to think of it more of the little alien critter trying to escape my tummy. Hi, I'm Dave. Did I say that already? I'm sorry. Let's see. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about some financial stuff. One of my comments was that it was good to talk about some of the financial things. What I do and maybe what I suggest. You know, I'm not a financial guru. I'm not a financial planner. It's just I've read some books, I've done some research, and these are things that works for our family. So maybe you can take from it and maybe get some pointers for what you do. But, you know, it's that all I am not an expert. Do your research thing. You guys know. All right? So what we do is we started off when we could, because at the accident we were, we went from making good money as a roof inspector to making zero money. And then, so when we were able to, we first started saving 6 months of things. We pretty much had that before because I was making good money. But I found that 6 months in the reality of life isn't a lot. Those 6 months can fly by. And if you have a situation where, like me, it took over a year to get things settled out. And so there was times when we were hurting. So I recommend 18 to 24 months of an emergency fund. I think that's plenty of funds. Now, you should have it accessible, so within a couple of days. So you could have that in a special ETF account. So you're earning some decent returns on it, and you're getting that those dividends, like an ETF index fund, where if you're getting some dividends from it, and you're making a little bit of money. So, but to have it more liquid, which is always better for an emergency fund, not necessarily for the super long time, but that is to put it in one of the high interest rate accounts. A lot of them, you see these online banks and these other ones, they're FDI insured, but they're giving you, I think right now it's like 4.5 or 4.3, but it could change anytime. If it's over at least 3% interest, well, you can do that, because then you're making more. Don't keep it in a regular bank. and because that 0.01% or 0.1% is ridiculous. They're making a lot of money off of you, your money. So especially with the fractional system where they don't have to actually have all that money that they say they have. So you're better off putting it in an account. And there's a bunch of accounts. I don't need to let you know the exact one that we use, because you could find one that has a higher interest rate. Go with that. So you do that for your emergency fund, 18 to 24 months. All right. And then you have if you have kids, set up a custodial account for them, and then do if you're still working, maximize your 401k. But I don't like 401ks because there's all these hidden fees in there and stuff. They really nickel and dime you. I used to have a really good 401k with Power or something, I forget. But then I looked into it. They still had their fees. It was about 1%, which adds up over time. So like a Roth IRA, where you can put up to, if you're over 55, I think. I'm 58, soon to be 59. Or by the time you see this, I will be 59. So I can max it out at like $8,000 a year. So I do that. I max that out, and it's all in. I use index funds and ETFs, and it's simple. Keep it simple. You don't have to get all fancy and stuff, and pick individual stocks and do all these things and stress about if they're going up or down. The index funds will work better. They go up and down too, but it's just easier that way. So I recommend that. Start putting that away, and then also we use a very specially structured high cash value whole life policies, about a 90-10 setup, where 90% of it goes towards the cash value, 10% goes towards maintaining the life insurance part. And you can do your research on that. A lot of people, like Dave Ramsey, doesn't like whole life insurance because they're not set up right, and you blah blah blah. He says do term and invest the difference. Nobody does that, and he says that because if you notice, he's got a term life insurance company that is a really big sponsor on his channel. So I can understand why he says that, because it makes business sense for him. But not everybody's going to be looking out for your best interest. Remember, they've got to get theirs. So I would recommend you do your research, and then what we do is, like, we are going to be slow traveling the world when our daughter goes off to university in about 4 or 5 years. She's just starting high school in August. So we are going to be then self-insured for health insurance, because paying for health insurance, why are we going to have like a $2,500 or $5,000 deductible with anywhere from $250 to $500 monthly payments? It just, for what? You got to pay that every month and still have a deductible before they reimburse you for any medical emergencies. And then when you're traveling abroad, medical service is so much cheaper. So what we did is we took that, we said, okay, $5,000 deductible each. So we got ourselves a life insurance, whole life insurance policy, high cash value, and we put that $10,000 in there, and we said, okay, we want to structure it so our payments are $250 a month, and we pay that 6 months in advance. So, and then if we need to get to it, we have, for like a medical emergency, we can have the money in 3 days. That's easy, no matter where we are in the world. So that just makes sense for us because we're earning a little bit of interest on that money. It grows every year. Plus, we get the dividends because we use the mutual life insurance companies that pay out dividends. Don't worry about what Ramsey says. All the dividends means you've overpaid. It's, sometimes, again, people will look at things that will promote whatever they are or say things to promote whatever they are selling you. And I think his snowball method of debt management is good, and also the other different things to get away from debt. But in the end, he's not telling you how he's really making his money, because he's at that higher level where everything he does, he's getting paid for, with his sponsors, with his programs, the schools, and everything else. And you can't blame him. It's good on there, but you got to look out for yourself. So you set these accounts up you can always use, if you have a medical emergency, use your emergency fund, and then you just transfer the funds out. But if that gets depleted, then you go with the cash value from the life insurance. You can even use that to become your own banker. Look up becoming your own banker, how to become your own banker with these whole life policies, so that you pay into them, and then once you pay it, you can have a brand new car every 4 or 5 years, even every 3 years, depending on how you pay into it. And then you pay it back, of course. You take a loan out on the cash value, and then you pay it back with the interest to cover the thing. And it's better you're doing that. Now you don't have to worry about a bank or whatever interest they're doing it. You charge yourself the market rate, and you now always will be able to drive a new car every few years, and you're gaining money because you take out interest on that. You're still earning interest on that money, even if you take a loan on it. Okay, so it kind of washes out, but if you pay it back with that interest, then you're still ahead of the game. And like I said, I can't go into super details on that because, like I said, I'm not an insurance agent, I'm not a financial advisor. This is just what we do, and we found it works for us. So if you're interested in that, do your research, find yourself a reputable agent that knows how to set it up properly. And like I said, once you start looking at it, you start seeing the setups at like 70-30, 80-20, 90-10. 90-10 is the best for you. All right. So those are the three main things with the finances: your emergency fund, your investments, set that up, and then your whole life insurance. What are your thoughts about this stuff? I know I could probably get some comments about the whole life. And put them down in the things. Hit that like button. And you should strive for about 30% of whatever you're making. Should go towards these three things. So divide it 10% in each one, and you're good. If you can do 40 or 50%, now you're really cooking. All right? Well, that was a quick one. You have a wonderful day, and God bless.